I was up late last night, too late, finishing up this mini album I've been working on. I just wanted to show you guys what a disaster my craft room is while I'm working, and this actually isn't even that bad. I sit over here and just surround myself with all my stuff so I don't have to get up very much. But this is the album. It's ridiculously chunky. All I have to do is finish the cover or do the cover, and I'll do a video on that, but all the layouts are done and I have all the photos in there. But I am going to work on this morning making some little grunge tags with some napkins, so I'm going to film that while I'm doing it. So I will be right back. Just wanted to show you that my room is a mess. And I'm going to pan over here. I live in the Northeast, when I think the winters are brutal up here. I don't really care for them, but for the next week it's supposed to be beautiful weather, and the grass is turning green, and it smells like spring, so I'm a happy camper about that. I'll be right back. Hi everyone, I'm back. Okay, little bit different plan. These are the tags that I made yesterday, and I did film while I was making them, and the filming came out fine. And I've made these before, but I made a second round last night that came out much better. So I deleted the filming, and I'm just going to go through and kind of tell you what I did and a little bit about what I learned. Sometimes I have to learn things 2 or 3 times before I remember them. The only thing I will say about these tags, and let me pick them up so you can see them. And I added a little bit of embellishing on them, but I'm going to be making these for racks, and hopefully whoever gets them can do some additional stamping or embellishing to them. This is the backs of them. And I'll show you the paper collection in a minute, because I purchased this recently at Michael's and I just love it. So there they are. But the one thing I will say is when you use decoupage medium or Mod Podge, when you put it on one side, it tends to, and if you don't put it on the back side, if you're using either paper, like in this case I'm using grunge paper, it will tend to curl. And that's what had happened with these, is that I put the Mod Podge on one side, and I went back later last night and put Mod Podge on the back side, and it really helped to flatten them out. So that's one tip. But let me go through the process of what I did last night to create this. And this is all dry and done and can be used to cut things out of. Oh, let me show you the paper pad first. So this is Ramble Rose by My Mind's Eye. It's a 6x6 pad. I think it's a newer paper pad. I haven't seen it before, and I absolutely love it. It's very vintagey. It has tons of like weathered wood. Actually, most of the pages are like weathered wood covered with floral or very distressed patterns. This is the one that I use, the one with the whitewash and then the floral pattern in the back. But typically, I don't have to have something when I see it, but this was different. I saw it and it was full price, which was like $6 or something, but I did have a coupon with me. I'm like, oh, I have to purchase that today because it's just one of those ones that I loved, and I actually want to go back and get a second one so I don't end up hoarding that one. Okay, so what I did was I took a piece of the Tim Holtz grunge paper, and one of the keys to doing this, and these are the napkins that I use. They're just, you know, the fancy luncheon napkins you can get on clearance all over the place. But what you need to do is to separate it into 2 layers so that it's very thin. So you just take the napkin, and several people have done this on YouTube before. I mean, this is nothing new. But you just grab it until you get it into 2 sheets and take it apart so that you have a really thin layer. And this will help in crinkling it up and giving it some texture when you adhere it to your paper. But it will also help prevent getting air bubbles in between the 2 layers, so that what had happened with these is not only did I not separate it into 2 layers, but I had ripped it up and really collaged it on there. And I ended up with some air in between layers, so then when I cut it, it wasn't fully adhered in all the sections. So I had to go back and put glue in. So with this, you just put your matte medium on your grunge paper. You cover it with your napkin and just kind of scrunch it up a little bit and really smush it down, and then you get that'll help give it some texture. And then I dried it, and I did the same thing to the other side, put Mod Podge on there, crinkled it up, dried it, and then I went back when that was all dry and put a layer of decoupage on top. And then while that was wet, I sprinkled some of the Distress Stickles Dry Glitter over the top to give it some shimmer. And so I did that then to both sides. I heat dried it a little bit, but then I actually just put it on like a baking rack and let it dry overnight. And so this is the end result. And everything, all of these layers are adhered very, very well. So that when I went to cut, I cut a strip out and just used my, I used the Tim Holtz Tiny Tabs and Tags die. It has like a 3 1/4 inch little tag on there. And then when I cut that out this morning, it came out beautifully. Everything, like I said, is adhered very well to the grunge paper. And I cut out a heart as well. I think this is a Sizzix Primitive Hearts number 3 die. And it just comes with several hearts on there. So very, very happy with the way that that's come out. I've done this before on books, but I guess it's been a little while. And I'm sorry I don't have the whole processed film, but I figured I would share and share my end results and kind of what I relearned along the way. So yes, very important to separate the napkins. They're very helpful. I mean, these came out beautifully. They're absolutely fine, but they just took a little extra work afterward to make sure that everything was adhered well. So hope everyone's having a great day. If anyone has any questions, let me know, and I'll be talking to you soon. Bye-bye.